Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Ministry of Consumer Affairs along with AICTE and MIC organized Tomato Grand Challenge, inviting innovators and researchers to come up with solutions to tackle the issues in tomato value chain. Aiming to create value-added products, Theraxel Healthcare developed biopolymers coating from tomatoes for food delivery packaging.
The challenge had 4 different verticals. The last one being value-added products or valorization of tomato waste that is generated either after processing or after storage. We took on this challenge by creating a new coating material called the Peco tomato.
I am Dr. Vivek and we are from Theraxel Healthcare, and we have 2 products to demonstrate right now. So this is with respect to the tomato waste. We are trying to valorize the tomato waste that is generated after processing. For example, ketchup or puree processing industry, once we get the tomato waste, we are converting it into value-added products for Bharat's food and pharma industry. So the problem, speaking of the problem, we have 2 sets segregated separately. One is the food industry and another one is the pharma and the cosmetic industry. So food packaging, basically when we order food online from Zomato or Swiggy, we would end up getting something packed in a plastic container that is a single-use plastic, or maybe you can use it for multiple times. On the other side, when you go to pharma tablet coatings, also have synthetic materials which are used for coating of these tablets to retain the shelf life for a longer period of time. So both of these have the same kind of an problem, that is the moisture or the water content which is basically causing the damage. So the need here is that you should have a very high performance alternative that can be basically eco-friendly and that can serve both of these markets that we are targeting for. So our solution is Peco Tomato, that is for the food industry, whereas on the other side it's Biotomex, which goes to the pharma sector. So in this case, what we do is once we have collected the peels, that is processed pomace that is called. Once we get that, we separate out the peels from it. And once the peels is come, we do our own proprietary processes. We do an extraction of the biopolymer from it and then use it in our formulation to coat the paper-based products. On the other side, when I talk about Biotomex, this is a product after we have extracted the biopolymer that is used in a traditional film coating method where we prevent the moisture absorption onto the tablets. So our USP is basically using the tomato byproducts, which is come from the processed industry. And then we use it for making value-added products to these 2 markets. Now coming to the market opportunity in Bharat, we have the food delivery market, which is actually growing at a very large, it's growing very rapidly. Basically, we are from Karnataka. So if I take Bengaluru as one of the city, it is one of the largest online consumers for the delivery, which is happening right now. And on the other side, pharma tablet. We are also from a background of pharmaceutical sciences. And we always, face a lot of problem where we have tablets and then we have to keep a silica bag in this packaging and then sell it for a very high price. So if I can give a tablet, for example, at a cost of per strip, if I can give it at 10 rupees, right now the same tablet is being given at 350 and 400 because of the container which retains the moisture. So we want to get into that particular industry. So we are targeting 2 separate industries with 1 product which we have extracted from the processed tomato. So I'll come to the demonstration directly. We have taken a lot of different types of paper-based materials which can be used in the packaging. It can be of any GSM, and we claim that around 20% of the shelf life increase is seen when you have coated the paper with 10% of our biopolymer solution, and it will give you a water-resistant coat for up to about 75 minutes, the typically maximum time taken by the online food deliveries to reach your doorstep from the restaurant once you have ordered. So the maximum time would be approximately around 75 minutes, and we go beyond that, but we have kept it at that as a standard for our product. So right now, I think in your tables, you have a strip which is given. So it is half coated and half uncoated. And we also have a container of water here. Madam will just pass it on. So you can just dip both sides and see. It's actually marked on which side it is coated. There is UC written. So I'll just explain the process. So this biopolymer, whenever there is a food processing happening, the 120 degrees temperature is required for this particular biopolymer to be extracted out. So without that temperature, it will never come out of its peel. So therefore, whatever is being processed from the ketchup industry would be basically not reaching up to about 120. So we still have it retained within the peels which come out after processing. So we extract it out, and then at 80 degrees, we coat it onto our paper-based packaging, and then dry it again at 120 so that it cures and it becomes completely coated onto the paper, just as you have seen. So we also have something like this packaging material. You can take any sheet of paper, and then we can coat it first and then roll it and then make your packaging out of it. This is much easier rather than doing it for the ones which are already made into packaging. With that, our competitors basically in the food packaging are basically the plastics. There are bioplastics and the normal plastics also, as well as petrochemicals which they use. Usually the paper cups are coated with wax coating on the inner side. So we can replace that with this kind of a coating which we have developed from tomato peels. On the other side, when you talk about pharma, the tablets which we consume are usually film coated. At least approximately 90% of the tablets are always film coated, and we always use synthetic materials for coating them. So our edge is basically, it's an IP protected process which we have developed, and we also have the trademarks for both these names. And it's a low cost one because we are targeting both markets simultaneously with one product that is being developed. Coming to the achievements so far with this product, with the Paco tomato, we have done it at different types of food packaging, which is pre-made or otherwise the normal papers, and then try to make a packaging. We have tried it to hold a lot of food items, which we generally order. On the other side, Biotomex has just come up after our mentoring sessions and everything that this could be a product which we could develop. So we are trying out the film coating, and now it's under the spec development to standardize what is required for the pharma industry. So right now we have filed one patent with one trademark. There are 3+ patents which are under drafting, as well as we have non-food and pharma applications as well. We also have certain places where they have these coconut shells, which they are trying to make mugs out of it right now in Kerala side. So they have a problem of the pores because whatever content you put in just seeps through. So they also are looking at something like this, if this can give a coating for them properly so that their product also could come out better. So our process is very simple. We just take it from the processing industry, and then we do the proprietary extraction process, and then we use this for coating. So we are targeting the FSSAI license for this particular product for the food-based application because it comes in contact with the food. So therefore, we need to pass their guidelines and the BIS as well. So our business model would be basically to the businesses itself, for example, who are making the packaging, rather than we make the package and give it. On the other side, we can also license this out. And the last major one which we are looking at is the customization fees. For example, the premium sector, such as Starbucks and everyone, they have their own customizations done for these kind of packaging or anything like a straw, the internal coating of it, etc. So we can also do that, customize, and then give it. So we are thinking that would also be a larger market for us. Coming to our financial projections, in the first year, we anticipate just about 50 lakhs in the food sector because our early pharma trials are ongoing. Whereas in the second year and the third to 5 years, we anticipate it to grow rapidly because once we have the licenses and once it is in the market, we would be able to push it through. And also, I'd like to quote that this would be, if it is passing all the trials safely, our pharma sector would have first Indian excipient. In the recent times, we never have any excipient which has come out from India, which is going into the tablet coating process. So this would become one of the first one to come out into the market. The next is our team and advisors. Me, myself, I'm Dr. Vivek, and we have Veena Jagdish here and Abhigna with us as well. So our business mentor is Mr. Asim. He's the CEO of our incubation center. We started out with this basically from the onion grand challenge, where we tried to bring out a sweetener, which from the waste onion peels, we tried extracting that out, and that is under the animal testing right now to see whether it causes any fluctuations in the blood sugar level or not. So we started out from there. The team was very much impressed. So from there, they asked us to even come towards the Tomato Grand Challenge, and this is now where we stand. Coming to the ask, we are asking something about 3 to 4 CR in a convertible note because we have multiple products in our company. So therefore, the valuation could not stand on one single product. So we want to use the 40% of the funds just to put up the manufacturing plant, because what is happening is the certain states have cities such as Kolar, they have a lot of processing industry. So from there to be transported to the place where we are in Mangalore, that itself would invest a lot of cost, and well as the the refrigeration and everything. So we want to put up a small plant next to them so that it's easier for us to process there and then bring the biopolymer to us rather than the entire extraction process being done at our side. So we have done our calculation. So you can see that is a calculation given for about 1,000 kg of the peels. So it comes to about 60 to 75,000. And also the 1,000 kg of peels would give you around 10 kg of the biopolymer material, 10 kg of the biopolymer material, which can basically coat about 1 million A4 size paper sheets. Yes, that's all for here now. Thank you so much.
I have a couple of concerns. One, we've seen several startups that have agri products as the raw material. How do you assure yourself of supply of this? Because that is always a challenge. And clearly you are working with fresh tomatoes, or you can work with refuse also?
No, ours is processed tomatoes. Like once you have a tomato, it goes into the ketchup industry.
Correct.
So what comes out from the ketchup industry is our raw material.
How do you guarantee yourself a regular, adequate supply of that?
Yeah, that is one reason. Like I need the peels to be something like they should not have the fungus or any worm growth in it. So until then,
that is
I
an
can
added
store
problem
it.
in agri waste.
Yes. So what happens is once it is coming out of the processing plant, like from the ketchup industry, we can directly process it in small scales also. Because we don't have to wait until I get 1,000 kgs or I get more than that, and then only I will process it. So therefore, we want to place our pilot or the scale plant next to them itself nearby so that it's easier for us to continuously run the process.
Have you done any market mapping of how many such plants are there?
Yeah,
what is the quantum of such a product that is available to you?
Yeah, what we have in the preliminary things, what we have seen is that Kolar is the only region which is accessible to us very close by within Karnataka. And they have like around 3 plants there where they are doing the processing. So we want to make something like there in the middle of it so that we can source it from all 3.
Have you got any numbers? Give me some numbers.
Numbers of how much
kilos,
output they have.
Yes.
Yeah. So per day, according to them, it like the 3 people whom we spoke to. So according to them, per day they would be having approximately about 3,000 to 4,000 kg, which comes out.
What does that translate into? How much biopolymer can you make?
Yeah, each 1,000 kgs will give me 10 kg of the biopolymer.
There's your number, right?
Yes. But 10 kg can coat about 1 million A4 size packaging material.
The way you describe the process for coating papers, it appears to be extremely energy intensive. So where are the
sir,
economies
I'll give you the process how they coat the paper.
Advantages of this?
Yeah, I'll just give you the process how they coat papers. Usually if you have...
Not just that, even how you manufacture it appears to be energy intensive.
Right? It's not that energy intensive. It's just temperature and then it's an acid-base reaction. It's quite simple process actually. In one reactor, you can finish the entire process and it settles down. You just remove it out, you get your polymer.
One last time, I know I have other members also. What is the process for approval on the pharma side? I like that use case better.
Yeah, a pharma side, the approval is that we have to prove that it is non-toxic, acute and chronic stage. 90 days we have to do preclinical testing, and then the DCGI would approve it for us.
We'll go through animal and
yes, animal studies and this one. So since we are from a background of pharma, so we want to take that further because that is a larger market that we are looking at. But we started out with the food application, so that's also shown here.
Dr. Vivek, what is the patent for then?
The patent is for the process. Yes, it is for the biopolymer extraction process and how we would coat different items.
My immediate thinking,
Yeah.
I mean, there is definitely something in the innovation,
Right.
but I think the second sort of revenue stream that you showed, licensing, could be an interesting option.
Yes.
Because I think the B2B side of it, would have its own challenges in terms of ensuring that you're getting the right input,
Right.
and then converting that into the required, output, and then, sort of,
Yes,
getting it done
yes.
on so many, packaging. I think the licensing could be an interesting sort of thought is what I feel, but need to go a little more deeper to understand how efficacious it is.
Right.
But definitely there is something that is quite innovative or disruptive is what I would say.
Right. Thank you.
Which stage you are currently?
So with the Paco tomato, we are in TRL 6.
Okay.
Whereas in this one, we are in TRL 4.
And I think the approval is left.
Yes, it is still there because our spec is being finalized for like 3 batches, consecutive 3 batches, stability data, and the spec is still awaited.
Okay. What is the complete journey? Could you please explain?
Right.
Complete journey
Okay.
of this product.
Okay, so what we started out with is when this challenge started, we just applied it as an idea.
No, I'm not asking for this challenge, but,
Okay.
but probably your product. I just
Okay.
need if it coming from a process industry, coming out
Yes.
a product, who's going to pick it and then exactly
Yeah,
send it?
exactly. What happens is once the tomato, at whatever stage it is entering into the ketchup or the puree industry. So once it comes out of their process, if I'm based in Mangalore, Karnataka, it would have to be collected from there and transported to me under refrigeration condition because I don't want in the transit it should
Any
not
cost?
get spoiled. For?
Is there any cost involved you need to pay to the industry for this?
Usually what happens is the industry, since it's a waste product, they wouldn't be costing us, but what they would say is like they would work with us because they are also finding a kind of a solution to the problem that they have. So they wouldn't charge, but they would basically join with us.
What check they are taking?
We have not yet ventured into that because we have to search for a plant first nearby, and then only I can ask them like what would be, because we need to know where I'm putting my like the setup first.
So completed.
Yeah. So what happens is once we have collected it and it is, let's just assume that it's been transported to us. Once it comes to us, we would clean it out and we get the peels. That is what we are looking at. And once the peels have come, we do our extraction process and then I would be getting the biopolymer. So once the polymer is obtained, I put it into my formulation, which is the next part of it, and then just give it to somebody who wants to coat the papers. Right now, we are doing it ourselves. For a smaller scale itself, we are not giving it out to anyone, and then that goes into the market. Yeah, that is the entire journey. Yes.
Okay. So is there any secret sauce in this process because you filed a process patent?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to clear it to me or?
You want to know the process of how we extract it out and this? Okay. So the first thing is that pomace is basically put into a tank of water and the peels normally float up. Then we take the peels and we dry it. And then we put it into an alkaline solution, and then that is crushed, homogenized within the container which we are doing it, and then we acidify it to an exact pH where that automatically precipitates out, and it is done at 120 degrees.
Done. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.
Good job.